What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boy oh boy, do I have a lot of good information for you guys regarding Battlefield 6. We got a bunch of brand new leaks, obviously, because we got Battlefield Labs up and active again, so clearly people are going on in, taking videos, taking screenshots. So in this video, I'm more than likely not going to showcase any of the stuff that I'm talking about, but of course, as you guys already know, I'll leave a link to all of this information down in the description of this video. But man, let me tell you guys something. Between the revamped version of Empire State with a complete snowed over look, over to all the brand new cosmetics that we're seeing within Battlefield 6 that look tremendously better than what we've been getting at the launch of Battlefield 6 going throughout Season 1. I think a lot of you guys are going to be happy with the information that I have to share with you guys today. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before going dive on deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit bell. Post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and the second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, gotta link that channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about the snowed over Empire State. I know, it's going to be pretty controversial because a lot of people hate this map. I still don't personally get it. A lot of people love maps like Metro or Lockers, where it's literally the same exact thing. It's a meat grinder map where everybody is just condensed into one exact zone and it's just nonstop action, except Empire State has, a few more flank routes where it's not just all funneled into one location. You actually can kind of rotate around the map. I get it. It's small. It has no vehicles. It's not like it's the best thing in the world. For me personally, I enjoy the more medium-sized maps or the large-sized maps in Battlefield because it offers a little bit of love to everybody across the board, whether you like infantry, vehicles, between tanks or helicopters, whatever you personally prefer. But when it comes down to small, condensed style maps, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's actually kind of up there with the tops. And I think later down the road, people will start looking back on this map and say it's not that shabby when it comes down to the infantry-styled Battlefield maps. But overall, the snowed over version, it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that maybe we can see Manhattan Bridge kind of snowed over as well, since they're kind of both, similar and they're pretty close in location. It would be awesome to see them do that because at the same time, people who don't want to deal with infantry-only maps can still, see the snowed over vibes on a map that isn't completely vehicle-based, but it still has vehicles like helicopters and tanks on it, so everybody can still get the vibes of Christmas. But the map overall looks absolutely phenomenal, and the weather looks beautiful. I absolutely love snow myself personally. I love all types of weather. I'm a weirdo. I love rain. I love snow. As long as you really don't have to, go out there and specifically work in it, on the day of, then, if you could just kick back and just soak in Mother Nature, it is absolutely beautiful, and honestly, Dice completely cooked with this. I love the snow vibes of Empire State. It really does just kind of bring the holidays together for December, and I hope that they have a little bit more content planned. I know they already have some stuff to grind for, like events, but I hope they have enough to keep people interested throughout the holiday seasons until the developers can come back into the, studio and keep cooking up more stuff for us to do within the Battlefield 6 experience. And there's also effects on Empire State with the snowed over version as well, little freeze zones. If you go into a specific area, you will begin to freeze, and you'll actually lose health over time until you go into a warm area where you'll start to regain your health again. I actually watched the footage, and it's not too bad. I was worried it was going to be like, either over the top or nothing at all. It seems to be more leaning towards nothing at all, where it's not going to really disrupt your gameplay. You're going to have to sit there and camp there for a very long time. It depends on what the zones are looking like. In the gameplay, I only saw a couple of specific zones where you're, on a flag, but maybe certain zones where people are going to be camping, posting up with LMGs or even rifles and just chilling. Maybe they'll have to move around a bit because if they sit there for too long, they'll start freezing over, losing health, making them an easier target. I think that this can be interesting, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to really make it that intriguing to say, oh, I want to play the snow map because it has this cool event where you lose health if you're in the, I don't know if that's going to be the full-out craze for Battlefield 6, but it's still an interesting concept, and I'm glad they're trying to add interesting things in the game to keep that spark going for the overall community. What I will say is that seeing this event for Empire State where it's completely snowed over is really making me crave some weather features within Battlefield 6. It still blows my mind that, previous games had ongoing weather where it might start out sunny and go into a thunderstorm, or it might start out in a thunderstorm and go into sun, or it might be a day and go close into a sunset or night. It's crazy that previous Battlefield games had that. But here we are with probably one of the most top-notch Battlefield games we've seen in a long time. Graphically, fundamentally, optimization, so on and so forth. Everything is so crispy, yet we don't have ongoing weather within the experience. And seeing this snow is just making me crave that more and more and more. Please, DICE, I'm begging you. I know you guys said maybe behind the scenes in labs you guys are testing, ongoing weather. I hope that this becomes something that will be a core fundamental of the game. Even if it's not snow, maybe snow is just a limited time thing for the holiday season, which I'll be completely okay with. It'll be cool. At least give us some rain or a day-night cycle or a sunset or anything. It would just spice up the overall gameplay. I know it doesn't change the fundamental gameplay of the map, because obviously it's not going to change the layout of what the map is designed for, but still, just having a different atmosphere, I think, changes up the vibes enough to make each map unique each time you re-enter it with a brand new, weather cycle. It always shakes things up, whether it's the visibility, how you approach enemies, the sound, when rain is pouring down, you can, be a bit more aggressive at times. I love it, and I hope that gets introduced into Battlefield 6 sometime down the road. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, the leaked skins for Battlefield 6. As I stated, they're looking pretty dang good. Of course, minus a handful of them. Now, I can't guarantee that each and every one of these skins are going to be grindable within the game. You might have to actually pay for some of these, because we saw some leaked skins before, and I thought they were all going to be Battle Pass skins, but lo and behold, basically when they all dropped, they're not Battle Pass skins. A handful of them were, and the rest of them were store bundles. So I'm assuming, from what I'm looking at right here, which again, I'll leave a link to this overall post down in the description of this video, the majority of these are probably going to be store bundles. But I'm not going to lie to you guys, they are looking very, very good. As I stated, don't lose hope in DICE. Everybody always worries to the max when they start to see a slight bit of color or, design on any of these skins. But trust me, they're not going to take the Nicki Minaj or, any celebrity route. I see a lot of people saying that, they put together that trailer advertising that they're not going to do that stuff. And then they start complaining about the skins that we have in the game so far. But seriously, they have not pushed too far just yet, ladies and gentlemen. They clearly stated that they're not going to use any paid celebrities and big names that they're going to throw into the game. It's not going to be that. We're going to be soldiers. That's just what the game is about. It's Battlefield. And yeah, we have some flashy skins here and there, but nothing has been over the top like, Call of Duty yet, which I am extraordinarily thankful for. And from what I see from these skins, they are looking great. Now, I know a lot of the community is probably going to be complaining about this. I can already see it. And I already have seen a bunch of people complaining about this over on Reddit, about how a handful of these skins look absolutely awful and they're not realistic and they don't make any sense for Battlefield. To me personally, knowing that EA is in charge of Battlefield, I expected much worse, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And I am extraordinarily thankful that this is as bad as it's been getting so far. Between the beginning of Season 1 going throughout what we see here, it seems like when it comes to how far they're pushing, they have a certain line already drawn, and they're not going to pass that line. And it seems to be pretty repetitive again and again and again. So, of course, if they pass that line, I think as, a community, we should be complaining about it. But so far, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. And I stated in a previous video, if you guys don't want to see that stuff, if you don't want EA selling you the stuff, don't buy it, don't rock it. It's as simple as that. Me, myself, I've not been rocking any of the crazy camos, any of the crazy skins, and I highly encourage you guys not to rock any of those crazy camos or crazy skins. And if we start seeing a stupid amount of people rocking them on the battlefield, then that must mean our voices are the minority, and clearly the mass majority of people out there enjoy that stuff. But luckily for us, I don't see that stuff at all. I don't see anybody rocking them, and that's great. Keep it that way, ladies and gentlemen. If you truly don't want to see them keep pushing, then don't rock any of the stuff that you don't personally like. But for me personally, when I look at these camos, the only thing that, my criticism is where's all the winter maps, Like, we're getting pretty much a whole catalog of winter camos right now, besides a few, of course. So, what's the point of all these camos, man? Come on, DICE, bring on some snow maps. I don't just want a snow theme. I want a snow map, a completely, full-fledged out one. That would be freaking awesome. Like, come on, DICE, you guys want this whole war to be taking place in the U.S. right now. You guys are in Cali at the very moment within this season. With the brand new map, shoot, we can go to Cali as well still. There's snow in Cali. We can go to the mountains, or even take us to Alaska. Let's go over there and, get into the trenches and just get some all-out warfare. Give us some snow, please. Weather in general, that would be outstanding. I want to see some snow maps. some nighttime style maps, and some designated rain maps. Until, of course, weather can become a consistent feature that comes in and out of, every map that we have right now currently. But until that, day comes, I would love to see, like I said, all three of those environments come to life within the Battlefield 6 universe. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, go down in the comments section. Let me know what you think about all this information. Are you excited about all this content that's coming into the game, or are you kind of skeptical that this update isn't going to be all that and it might bring some more issues than, what it offers when it comes to the positives? But of course, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit bell. Post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and the second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys are interested in seeing any of that content, you can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.